Coach, how much did you have to sort of calibrate the installation and the tempo to accommodate the freshmen? That's something you really talked about a lot a couple of weeks ago.
I did. To be honest with you, I didn't. We threw them into grease right off. We're going to see how they responded. There were a few of them out there sucking air a little bit. Now they were winded and just learning how to practice. I know Coach Sweeney was real demanding in that regard, as far as making sure our guys are on and off the field and hustling through every catch and every run, and that's one thing that those guys learned. But as far as the scheme and what we asked them to do, I thought they did a great job from day one.
You must have to be more aggressive with so many freshmen on the roster, and I think Watkins is already with the second team and that sort of thing.
Well, what you have to do is you have to get a gauge, you have to get a starting point, and the only way to do that is you can't modify day one. You got to throw them in it and see where they're at, and then you modify from that point forward. But from what I just saw over the last 2 hours of practice, we're not slowing down. We're gonna pick day two up, install tomorrow, and add a lot more. Now tomorrow their head may be swimming a little bit, but extremely proud of where they're all at right now. I mean, the leadership that I saw tonight, and they're hungry, and that's all you can ask.
You told us that Dabo's golf tournament, that the wide receivers, what you saw in the spring, they were slower than maybe you thought. Did that change today from the new guys being out there?
Well, I think you definitely saw a difference from the spring. There's no question about that. Those guys definitely added that different dimension to us, the burst, acceleration, the playmaking ability. But also saw some veterans today that kind of realized, I better step up or I'm fixing to get left out also. So I was glad to see that as well.
It's probably hard to tell in no pads and shorts. Is there anyone you're especially intrigued with today? Anybody you're impressed with today?
It's really hard to say until you go back and watch film. Taj, to be real honest with you, Taj. I thought his leadership, number one, was better today than any point in time during spring. He threw the ball better today than he has. He made some good decisions. I thought he definitely showed where he needs to be. I mean, it's. I'm excited from what I saw out of him, but you know what? That needs to be every day. So I am. I think he stood out. I think you saw some other guys that stood out as well. Jerron Brown was another one that stood out. We had some offensive linemen that, until I get in there and watch film, we ran a lot of plays today, and we had great tempo. And I think that's they would tell you the same thing.
Coach, for those who aren't maybe familiar with your offensive philosophy, kind of in layman's terms, describe what you like to do.
Well, we're a hurry-up, no-huddle football team. We take great pride in running the football. We're a two-back offense, essentially is what we are. Now, we're going to line up in many different formations, but we're going to go to breakneck speed, and it's about tempo. It's about getting on and off the field. It's about the number of reps that we can get, but yet not being overcomplicated in what we do.
Do you think that'll be the biggest thing that fans notice, is just the change in tempo to the offense?
Well, I think if you asked any fan that was here during spring ball, they would probably tell you that was the number one thing they noticed, was definitely the tempo, the pace at which we play. We're striving for 80, 85 snaps a game, and in order to do that, you got to practice fast. You got to train fast. You got to answer the phone fast. Whatever you do, you got to do it fast. So that's what we're doing, and I'm pleased where we are after day one. Unfortunately, they're not giving away rings and trophies after day one. But we're on track. We got a starting point, and that's all we can ask.
Talk about Taj. How did he look